Hello, and welcome to yet another Mac84 live stream. Hi. So we're going to continue the work that we started 2 days ago, something like that. And that is with this Macintosh SE30 logic board, which was a trade in part by my friend Brandon, who sent this to me to keep if I could fix up his other machines, which we may get to today. This board had some nasty capacitor leakage. The caps are already removed by the time I got it, but there was still a lot of crud on there, and it looked like some of the pads weren't even there. But once we cleaned it up, it was pretty rough, I will say that, but everything looks pretty clean now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to continue working on those traces that we were cleaning up. I'm going to have to put some solder mask on them, and thankfully, since it's a bright sunny day outside, I should be able to just let this sit in the sun during our stream for a few minutes, and then dry that off, make it go through the ultrasonic cleaner, and work on something else while that happens. And then we should be able to put caps on this and see if it works. So that's the plan for today. And I hope everyone's having a good Saturday or whatever day it is where you are. And fun fact, for those of you who like the intro music, that's actually a song called Power Up. You could search for it on the YouTube audio library. I actually made the intro screen for Mac84, so I selected that song for Mac84. And when I said, you know what, I should have a loading screen too when I go live, and I was trying to look for music, and I just couldn't find a better one. So I'm like, you know what? I'll reuse that. I mean, I didn't make the thing, but I selected it in the first place for the other one. So I'm like, why not? We'll use it in both places. It's good enough for both. So hello, everybody. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Raw Elements. Hello, Kate. Hello, Crazy Tech Reviews. Hello, Taj. Who else we got here? We got Tech and Music, Distro Hopper. There we go. Cool. We've got about 10 of you so far here, so thank you for joining. And what I will be doing is just setting up. I have my other screen here now. You can see there, instead of behind me. So that should maybe help a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a brief tour of this board. Ooh, why isn't that turning on? That's not good. Did I unplug something? I think I might have unplugged something. So this should be going to a power cord. Oh, which is unplugged. Oopsie. Hold on. Ah. I'm sure there's some sort of fire hazard law I'm breaking by having so many things plugged into a power strip, but okay. The name of the song is called Power Up. I forget the artist's name. It doesn't spring to mind. I've looked it up before. But if you just Google YouTube audio library and then search for Power Up, you'll find that song pretty easily. I think Power Up is one word with the exclamation point after it. Doesn't come up with that. Just put the space in it. Try it that way. But okay, so let's switch to a view where you could see the microscope here. There we go. All right, so look at our fancy microscope here, and we're going to show you. There we go, over here. Yep, wait, still getting the hang of this thing. There we go, some nice and shiny pads. Don't look too bad. There's still some stuff that's eaten away there. That has revealed the copper there under the solder mask, which is okay, actually. Not too bad, but I will be touching this up with some solder mask. In fact, I have to make sure I have a toothpick here to apply that. Oh, boy. I have not touched the Apple Personal Laser Writer since I last touched it weeks ago. So, sorry, Nick. I have not been playing around with that. Usually, when I play around with things, it's on a live stream. So, yeah, sorry to disappoint there, but it's on the shelf somewhere. I think it turns on. I think both of them, yeah, I think the personal one worked, but it was no, I can't remember, to be honest. They'll look back at my pictures. I took a picture of it if it did work. But yeah, so we're just looking at these pads here. Where are we on this board? There we go. So this one actually needs some solder mask here because this got eaten away right there. Right there. Ugh. So that is pretty nasty there. Hey, there you go. So Tech and Music just got his SC30 to work. So pretty cool, man. Congrats. All right, actually, I'm going to switch the chat over to the other screen here because that'll give me more room on this side to actually see what I'm doing. Hello, Sean. I just watched your update video there, Sean. So Sean has a sort of a Franken Mac there. And it's this modded up SE30. So Action Retro is who I'm talking about here. And he has this really cool SE30 that he picked up that somebody painted black. They put a CD drive in there. They put a jazz drive in there. And all sorts of crazy mods with speakers and things like that. So he's in the process of restoring that. And again, if you need any recapping help there, sir, be happy to help out with you there. But check out his videos if you click on his name, Action Retro, or you might have to click on his icon. I forget how that works. But Darth Macus, yes, he needs he could use some extra subscribers there to watch his videos. Very well done. So kudos to Sean there. We had him on the Mac84 show not long ago. Maybe when you get that all fixed up, we'll have to have you back. That'll be fun. But my Hulk hands have no soldering finesse. Well, you know what? It's actually a very good skill to know where your limitations are. Because, you know, I thought, I could do this. I break something. Oops. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, I heard about that. Somebody doing a recreation of an SE board. And you know, that's all well and good. That's, you know, you have to find the chips and the processors yourself, which is no easy task anyway. But I guess if you have a really rotted board, you could just take all the chips off, which, I mean, there's a lot of chips on this thing. But all right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my UV solder mask, or try to. Where's my toothpick? I had a toothpick that I used to apply this stuff. Let's see, where is the toothpick? I might have to run upstairs and get one. But yes, this is a SE30 board. And my friend Brandon gave me this board to fix up in payment for a few other things that we traded for it, especially fixing up some of his items. And we might have a look at some of those today if I have the chance to do that. But yeah, so let me go grab a toothpick real quick for the solder mask. I will be right back in like 30 seconds. I'm not even going to put the screen up. Okay. Oh, that wouldn't take long. So I have some toothpicks here. Just make applying this stuff a little bit easier. That's all. There is always bunny hair everywhere in my basement, especially on my shirt. I don't think that's bunny hair on the board, though. I would not be surprised, but I think that's just either my hair or somebody else's. Let's see if we could find where that is here. Yeah, the thing is with the corrosion and the flux and all this stuff, it attracts every little bit of dust. And so dust and hair and all that stuff just love to make themselves home on this board. But yeah, that's not mine. I know, Jay. It's like, ugh. It's fixing computers again. I should stop watching. No, you shouldn't. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just touch up some of these areas that need some UV solder mask. I'm going to clean them with an alcohol swab real quick and then apply it. I did run to the local pharmacy, and they had 70% alcohol. They did not have 91 or 90 or 99% alcohol. So, again, I'm extremely low. My friend Jay there has sent me a link to get some. I will have to order it. But I'll keep checking back, even if I just get a little bottle. I think I have half or a quarter of a used bottle somewhere, but either way, I'm running low. I literally meant to get some like back in February, and then all this stuff happened, and I'm like, oops, missed out on that opportunity. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well today. It's a nice, it's a little too sunny for me, but it's about 80 degrees out here where I am. 80, let's see what the watch says. 86. Ooh, no thank you. No thank you. I will stay in my nice cool basement. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see how we can apply this very carefully. I think I have too much on my toothpick there. Oh, that's not too bad, huh? Alright, so that's some UV solder mask. When that cures and dries, that will be hard to mess with, so that's good. Let's see, do we need... I think there was another area over here. I mean, there's a lot of ugly areas I'm going to have to touch up with solder. And then we might have to put some UV mask over it, but these pads are not looking too horrible. Let's see. Let's go to this side of the board now. Yeah, I sort of ate into that pad there. So, oopsie. Well, not the pad, but the part near the pad. So, that could use some solder mask there. Just because that's a little oops. See, and that's too much. You don't want that much there. So, just move this to the side. Get another. It's funny though, without the so Macintosh Librarian is asking, did this board boot without any capacitors on it at all, except the axial ones? I actually got a cursor and a gray screen. So that surprised me. Really, it did. I was like, what? But, yeah, so we could only hopefully go up from here. What does your basement smell like? That's a personal question. That's a very personal question. I don't know if I'm prepared to answer that. Hello, Scarlet Swordfish. So we haven't recapped yet. What we're doing is we're applying some UV solder mask here onto the areas that require it. And I guess that'll be okay. And then we're going to let that cure in the sunlight for a little bit. Thankfully, it's nice and sunny out. Usually by the time I get a chance to do this after work and everything, it's too dark out. And, you know, it doesn't help. I'm just kidding, Nick. It smells like a basement. I mean, I don't know how to answer that. You know what? The Mac84 retro site is exactly designed for those old web browsers where you just, I mean, it might even be too fancy for some of them. But, yeah, just HTML text and stuff. So that's very cool that you loaded up on your old Mac there. That is really neat. It's exactly what I use it for, testing old sites, old computers. All right, so, ooh, yeah, some of these traces are going to need some loving there. That's for sure. All right, so let's just check around, see if we need any other solder mask application here. I mean, other than it looking horrible in that veer there, I think we're okay. Let's just give it a little poke with our scalpel here, just to make sure. You can't see it on the stream. Sorry. And basement defresh, yes. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Not the smell of rabbit hay or anything like that. Or Timothy hay, rather. No. Doesn't smell like that at all. Oh, and that piece of plastic finally fell off. Oh, well. That was for the ROM slot. There was this cracked piece of plastic that was hanging on for dear life. And I nudged it. But you know what? That could probably be glued on. In all honesty, that could probably be glued on. So let's zoom out here to give you an idea of what the heck I'm talking about. So there's this little ROM socket. And on the left side we have this clip there. And on the right side, that clip has fallen like the mighty warrior which it was. That stood for so many years. That's okay. We will... Probably best that wasn't in the ultrasonic cleaner. Probably would have got lost in the tank. So we'll put that to the side. And I will put that with these screws over here. And we will glue that at a later time. Oh boy, that sounds like fun, Jay. It actually does. I like testing discs and things like that. Those adapters are pretty fancy, so glad you got a hold of one of those. This label has some has a little solder splash just hanging around there. It will take you off. Okay, we have another capacitor pad over here. Yeah, I mean, the worst part of the memory modules here, there's 8 of them, and these snap like crazy. I was so lucky that when I had the Macintosh Librarians board, I didn't crack any of those, because these are very brittle. I'm going to have to put some disclaimer or something in my recapping terms of service or something like that, saying, look, this plastic's brittle. If it breaks, you know, I'm sorry, but I can't be responsible for that. This stuff is just, even if you're super careful with it, you know, you might just break it just because the wind is blowing in a certain direction, you know. Sleep indicator works half the time. Well, that's better than working 0% of the time. Yeah, so this veer is a little interesting here. Let's test it with our multimeter, because I might want to put some solder mask on some of that after I put some solder there. But let's see. Okay, so that's still making a connection. That's good. This board showed signs of life before, so it did go to a screen with a cursor, which means it was trying to boot, and then I turned it off. I didn't want to do anything because I had no caps on it. So yeah, let's well, I guess I could put a little bit of solder. No, maybe. Yeah, let me put some solder there, and then I will put the UV solder mask over it. So at least there's a little more connection there. Nothing really happened before. The last 2 videos, we were just basically cleaning up this board. I'm putting some UV solder mask on some traces that need some attention. And yeah, then we're going to put some caps on it. And yeah, that's basically what we're doing. We're just leisurely, it's a leisurely Saturday stream here. Not doing anything too crazy. Taking my time. Guys, come and go as you please. Some of these chips look pretty nasty, so that is something I'm very curious about, how they come out from the ultrasonic cleaner. Now these traces, these are gone. There are pits in here that are gone. So this one right here and the one right above it do not have continuity. So I will have to make a repair there. Most of these are okay-ish. Who said my basement isn't comfortable? Just trying to see if there's copper under here or not. Oh, you're talking to raw elements. Oopsie. Here I am thinking everything in the chat is about myself. How vain. Alright, so we're just continuing to clean up some of these traces here. Now I'm going to zoom in because my eyes ain't as good as they used to be. And I apologize if the video is going to go a bit soft. I did not have time to mess with the focus or anything. I need to see this perfectly for me to actually do anything. Otherwise, it gets a little fuzzy and my eyes cross and I get dizzy. So, you don't want that happening. You get dizzy with a scalpel in your hand. It's probably not a good idea. So I'm just lightly touching these areas with the scalpel. Seeing how deep these corrosion marks go. Because if there's copper underneath there, I could just splash this with some solder and coat it. And then put some UV solder mask over it. I mean, all these traces appear to be okay, but we don't want to have to revisit this machine. Yes, we could repair a broken trace. It's so traces are just copper, and so all we have to do is we could put some enameled wire between it, or we could just make a solder bridge. There's a few ways of doing it, but yes, it can be fixed. A slab of rare stone. Yes, it is quite fun looking at these things under the microscope. I have to get used to working with them under the microscope because, you know, I'm moving my scalpel here and it's hitting something. I don't know what it's hitting, and it's hitting a chip that's right here. And I'm like, oh, I'm hitting into the chip. And so, yeah. And my glasses are a little dirty today. Let me see if I, you know, just with my eyes, that actually is a little bit better. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, so this right here is pretty nasty. Hello, Golden Panda. Welcome to the stream. And anybody else I didn't say hello to? Hello. Just getting some of these bits of corrosion away from these traces. Even with magnification like this, it is a little hard sometimes to tell if you're scraping away corrosion or if there's just a weird reflection with the way the traces are. So, all right, let me try and move this a little bit so I have a better... This is going to take a while, so get a snack, get a cup of coffee, grab a beer, whatever. Nice relaxing stream. Where's my other scalpel? I think that was a bit sharper. Here it is. Okay, so again, we're just scraping away this horrible stuff here. So who in the chat has an SE30? This is my first, so I intend to make it work. I have a lot of other compact Macs, as you probably could tell from my previous streams, but this is the first SE30 I have. I have not owned one of these machines before. Okay, Steve Moon just recapped his. Very good. I hope yours wasn't as dirty as mine is. Alright, actually I'm switching back to the other scalpel. Well, the Plus is not a bad machine at all, too. I love my Plus. Old Mac Plus is a nice machine. So I'm just putting enough pressure to scrape some of this gunk away. I'm not trying to dig into those traces too bad, because I don't want to damage anything to the side of it or anything like that. And some of this gunk should come off with the ultrasonic cleaner, but some of it will not. Ah, the Color Classic. Yeah, I've recapped 2 of those. They both work intermittently. I don't know what the heck is going on with them. I'll have to get a better look. That was before I got the microscope. So it'll probably be better for me to take a fresh look at that. All these vias have so much crap in them. Ugh. Ooh, especially this one. Ew. Yeah, everywhere I look, there's just little splashes of corrosion here. I mean, we're not all going to clean this up at the first go, but I'd like to make this machine nice and workable again, without the fear that it's going to crap out on us. Okay. Oh, nice. It's always nice hearing about what other machines people are fixing up. That's always cool. Glad I'm not the only one in the world, obviously, that does this type of stuff. But a lot of these machines, unfortunately, are not cleaned up, and then they're sold by somebody who has no idea what they're selling for a high price or even low price, and then it doesn't work, and someone gets frustrated, and they just toss it out. So I'm happy to save, or at least try and save as many of these machines as I can. Of course, you can't save them all. You have to realize your limitations there. My wrist is starting to hurt, probably from doing the scalpel motion for 3 days in a row. But there are a few machines I have not been able to fix yet, most notably the Quadra 840 AV, which is frustrating me, but I'm hopeful I could eventually get that to work. I also have a 2CX and a 2CI that show signs of life, but the 2CX and the 2CI have the same issue, which is none of those NuBus slots want to work. So I get no video from the 2CX, which does not have onboard video, And then the 2CI will work with its onboard video, but that's about it. So that's a bit frustrating. And the before mentioned Color Classic, which has some minor inconsistencies if it decides to boot up or not. So those could be analog board related, because I haven't really touched the analog board on those. Wow, that's lucky with somebody who bought that Mac, because when those batteries explode, oh boy. I need some background music here or something, because I'm just focused on this and quiet as a mouse. It's probably not the most exciting thing to hear, but I figured I'm going to be doing this anyway. In fact, Trina messaged me and said, "Are you streaming today?" I said, "No, I don't think so. I'm going to be cleaning up." And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to do this anyway. I'm going to probably do this anyway. So yes, you know what? I'll stream. I don't think she's here yet. But you have her to thank for this stream. Ugh. Yuck. So much garbage here. This is just ew. Yeah, there was an eBay seller I contacted. They were located about an hour or two away from me. And they worked at a recycling place. And on eBay, they had a 13-inch or 12-inch monitor that went with the Macintosh LCs. It matched those. Now, I don't have one. I have other Apple monitors, but I don't have one. Now, it was cracked. The plastic of it was cracked. It was in an unknown working condition. I think they wanted $20 or $30 for it. So, me being me, I messaged the guy and said, look, I would like to have this. I'll pick it up so you don't have to ship it. But I'm not going to pay that much for an untested machine. Would you consider something like $15 or $20 or something like that? And the seller responded, said, it's not worth it for me to sell it for that low price. I've scrapped it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I messaged you just trying to work out a deal. And you just toss away the thing. Now, I understand completely that not everybody's attached to these machines, but that was just a shame. Obviously, the plastic housing was cracked. Maybe the monitor didn't work at all. Who knows? But, you know, you can't save them all, but I tried. That was disappointing. Because he had a PowerBook 500 series also. He wanted the same price for that. I said, look, I'll give you $30 for both of them. You know, they were just sitting on eBay. It wasn't like, you know, anybody was bidding on them or anything either. Because the shipping price was astronomical for those things. Whatever calculation he used, the shipping price was crazy. I said, look, you're in drivable distance to me. Let me pick this up from you. And yeah, I know I'm sort of scraping into the board here. Ugh, never mind. You didn't see that. You didn't see any of that. That was stupidity on my part. Don't do what I did. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the way these people think. Obviously, look, they're in it's a business for them, but I don't know. I know the guy who I deal with who works in e-waste stuff. He's all for upcycling and recycling, and he loves when he finds some junk and he knows he can't sell it for anything, but he'll bring me a broken MacBook or an iBook or something, and he knows I'm gonna enjoy it, and he's like, you know what? Here, have it. Because he knows I'm going to enjoy this stupid thing. And it's very likely that nobody else would. So. Well, it actually doesn't matter if we get solder mask on that entire area. But let me clean this up a little bit. And, because of that experience with that seller, if he happens to have anything else on eBay, let me just try this again. I'm not inclined to actually, message him because I know he's going to have that attitude about it. So, you know what? Lost himself a potential customer, and he probably doesn't care, but I'm ranting, so I'm allowed to make assumptions here. Okay, where were we? Where's were we's? Oh, this looks all the same. Looks all the same. Yeah, that's where we were. Yeah, I mean people sell that stuff here too. Stupid prices. I can't tell you how many machines that I've seen on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace or Letgo or anything, and it's like a Macintosh SE or a Classic, and it's all yellowed. No keyboard, no mouse, no discs, no software, no box, not even a power cable, untested, rare. $200, $500, $1,000. It's like, you guys crazy? Actually, what am I doing here? I should have added some solder to that for... see, I haven't done this in a while. So I am forgetting my steps. Oopsie. Yeah, let's clean that up first. Now the soldering iron is warmed up here. Oh, boy. Let me put my glasses back on because I can't see what you guys are saying. Yeah, own a piece of history. Yeah, a piece of neglected history. Alright, so let's zoom out a little bit. Alright, so we have a lot of cleaning that we already did. Those spots will require their own wires. This is just never ending though, because this looked worse before, but there's still a lot of these little black spots. Let me try and before I start soldering the heck out of all this stuff. Let me just see if I get any of this other stuff out of here. No low ballers. I know what I have. Yeah, it's silly. I'm pretty sure the Macintosh SE that I tried to make an offer on, if I made an offer of $40, it worked, but I told, look, it's going to need some attention. They don't care. He's like, no, I just want it gone. I think it was listed for like 5 or 6 months. No one's going to buy a quote-unquote working one for $200 without a keyboard or a mouse or anything. Crazy, man. You're crazy. See, this chip is in the way, so I can't really get my scalpel exactly where I want it. Let me try turning this. Maybe I'm just a cheapo, but I'm used to the prices of these things back when nobody wanted them. And I think that's forever ingrained in my memory. These machines were dirt cheap. Nobody wanted them. They were outdated. They were ancient. And now, of course, there's the nostalgia factor of them. Now, I love that people are getting into these machines. I'm not saying that if you never used one, you're not allowed to play around and tinker with them. No. That's a silly elitist attitude. I would love people to enjoy these machines, but at those crazy scalper prices, and there's some of these people that they know what they have, they know these machines are sought after, and they're going to take every penny from you if they can, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, I'm all for selling stuff and making a buck. If I have a machine, let's say an Apple III, I know that I've seen those on eBay selling for about $1,000 in the condition I have one in. If I ever decided to sell it, I would want around that price. But if someone was going to come up to me and say, look, man, I had one, doesn't work anymore, I'm just trying to get another one, I'll give you $800 for it. Or, hey, you want to do a trade? I'm going to be reasonable. Now, look, if it's someone's machine, look, they have every right to sell it however they want. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying it's a little ridiculous in this day and age where people are, trying to gouge everybody, and it makes it harder for us enthusiasts to find any items, and it makes it more difficult for anybody to enjoy this stuff because you spend, $1,000 on a vintage machine, or $500 or a few $100s on a vintage machine, then doesn't work. Yeah, you could take the wind out of your sails there. I'm not talking about any one individual. I'm just talking about in general. But again, maybe I'm an old crotchety man because I've seen this stuff at dirt cheap prices. And look, all the machines that I got at dirt cheap prices, they didn't always work. But there was the assumption of, look, it's not a lot of money, so if it doesn't work, oh well. You're out $10, you're out $20, you're out $50. It's not like you sunk $1,000, $2,000 into the machine. The guy didn't even bother to see if it turned on, That's a good rejection, though. That's got to feel good. Hey, I had a hurricane come my way not too long ago, and I lost power for, geez, it was out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and most of Friday. So I sympathize for you, man. Stay safe. Hopefully, you don't lose power, because that was not fun. Lost all the stuff in my fridge. I wasn't able to stay at home. Had to keep making trips home to make sure all the pets were okay. Fun times. Fun times. Mother Nature is no joke. She don't play. Ew, look at how green these legs are. Yeah, a lot of people do sell bootleg stuff, and a funny story about that. I was at a yard sale, and they had a bootleg MacBook charger with the MacBook, and I was kind of interested in the MacBook. It had a cracked screen, had the box. It was a 2006 MacBook, and this is before I had any of those. A 2006 MacBook Pro, so it was like the first generation MacBook Pro. Not that I wanted to use it or anything. I just thought it would be fun to mess around with it, fix it up, maybe get a new screen for it. And the guy wanted like $70 for it. So I said, well, what would you do 40? And he said, no, it has the charger and everything. I said, this is a knockoff charger. And he got defensive with me. And he said, no, this is the original one. I said, do you see an Apple logo on this charger? I said, no. I said, then it's not an original one. He said, no, it's an original one. It doesn't have to have an Apple logo on it. And I said, look, I've been repairing these things for ages. I know an original charger when I see it. The text here is all worn away. This is not an original charger. He said, yeah, but it'll work with it. I said, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying that much. I'm not interested in that. I'll do 40, and if you don't want 40, that's fine. You can sell for whatever you want. I wasn't talking to him like that. I was just saying, yeah, no, I'm not interested. So I started to walk away, and he's like, wait. I'll do 40. So, and that was one of my first live streams, actually. I replaced the LCD on that MacBook, and I have to actually use that again because it was just sitting on my shelf there. But that was just an example of the things you find in the wild. I mean, look, not everyone's a dork about this stuff like I am. They don't know all the ins and outs of them. And look, if they think they could get $200 for a MacBook, yeah, sure. $70 for a MacBook, sure. Go try it. But knowing what you have kind of helps. I hope you've enjoyed Steve's weekend morning rants. That's what this is turning into. The video title should be Cranky Man fixes Macintoshes and complains. I mean, if it's something I really want and it's like $20 over the asking price, I'm not going to, and the guy says no, I'm going to be like, all right, here's your extra 20 bucks. I've done that before. There's been plenty of times I overpaid for something. Either it didn't work or it wasn't exactly what I wanted. You know, I've been burned before plenty of times. But I try to avoid that. Bonus rants, yes. Do you like ranting? Well, here is a bonus rant. Yeah, I have a pretty good eye for that sort of stuff, just because I've seen a lot of it. And you know, look, I could be fooled by non-genuine cables and stuff like that, but usually the chargers are pretty easy to spot. You know, if you see enough of them, you sort of get a feel for them. Right. Any other hugely problematic areas with these traces before we start trying to fix them? Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, I got some solder on them when I was trying to fix those pads. It's probably not going to come off without some wick. And listen, I'm not an expert on these computers. I understand the prices fluctuate and all this stuff. I'm just a cheapo. That's all. Call me whatever you want. Don't care. I mean, obviously, if a machine's complete, it has all the accessories in the box, blah, 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 you get a pretty penny for it. And I'm not going to stop you. Heck, if I could afford it, I'd probably want to buy it. Maybe I'm just jealous. Yeah, it gives New Jersey a bad name. There's been plenty of things where I've lost out to that individual. Either buying or whatever. But whatever. To each their own. All right. Yeah, funny story about eBay stuff. So I was in a store a few weeks ago. It was last month, and it was one of those comic book store type things where they have collectibles and this and that. There was this little Star Wars statue thing that I said, oh, that's pretty cool, little figurine thing. It wasn't too expensive. I'm like, you know what? That's probably a little more than what I'd want to pay for it. So I put like an eBay alert to see if I could find like a used one, because I don't need a box or anything. And I found someone that was selling it, and so they had it for around the price I saw at the store. So I'm like, you know what? They have a make an offer feature. I'm gonna make an offer. Why the heck not? So I made an offer, and the guy responds with a counter offer, and we're going back and forth. And so his counter offer, I would have almost accepted, but I'm like, you know what? I get a few more offers. Let me offer a little bit less and see what he says. And then all of a sudden he just puts the counter offer back up to the original asking price. And so I message him, because you can add a comment next to this. I'm like, hey, what's the deal? You know, I'll accept the other offer if you want that. You know, sorry, you know, if that's the lowest you'll go, I'll accept that. And he's like, nope, I've seen these listed on eBay a little bit higher. That's what I want for it. And so I responded to him. I'm like, with all due respect, if you look at the selling prices, not the asking prices, but the actual sold prices on eBay, you'll see that this item sells for $30 to $40 less of that price that you want, which was like $90. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. I'll give you one more chance to accept this offer. Otherwise, you know, good luck with your sale. And of course, he didn't accept my offer. And lo and behold, I found that exact item for about $40 cheaper. And bought that one instead. So, look, that guy is probably still waiting to have his item sold. And, yeah, good luck to him. But it's like the arrogance of some people. Like, oh, no, I saw it selling for more. I want that. It's like, all right. Yeah, look, I don't have to be the buyer, and maybe nobody will be, but you know, if you're gonna, nope, don't be a jerk. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm the jerk. That is lame. I'm sorry to hear about that. Gives New Jersey a bad name. Jeez. And I dropped the little cap for the solder mask. That's lost forever. It fell to the depths of the desk. The bottom of the desk by the feet. Alright, let's zoom out here. Alright, that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. We got some traces that we cleaned over there. No problem, Roy Edelman. See you later. Yeah, people are just greedy. And you know what? If you're going to be like that, I don't have to deal with you. That's all. Good luck elsewhere. Sony, Sony, Sony! Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is, where's that area here? Yeah, here, I'm going to apply some solder here. And I will try and clean this area up. Actually, you know what? I might have to take this chip off. It is just so gnarly around there. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to have to take this chip off. There's just so much gunk around it. I have a fear that underneath those traces might not be in the best condition. I'm not sure, to be honest, what those chips do. Probably for the floppy controller or something. I don't know. So what I'm doing is just putting some flux around this chip. Hopefully that'll let us get that out of there. Now, maybe I can move the microscope upwards. Yeah, just because it's out of focus, but I do need the height of this for me to actually work on this. So yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna move this. We'll switch the cameras real quick. And because I'm going to need some room That's not the camera you're supposed to be looking at. There it is. I'm going to need some room to get this chip off of here. And I'm going to need some space here. So, all right. Get our tweezers. Where'd they go? Yes, this is the Amtech Flux that Bruce suggested. Oh, there might be the sound chips. Okay. Put my safety glasses on. Although for this reason they're a little not really needed, but alright, where's that button for the thingy? There we go. Could use some of the extra light here. Up, and it fell down. I will use the microscope when I put this chip back on. Okay, so they are sound chips. Cool. Alright, so let's get this heat gun out. Try to get this chip out of there. Let me take a picture of its orientation so I don't forget. Okay, the chip is off. Ooh, yeah, this smells. Oh boy. Yeah, let's get a look at this. Yeah, this is not a fancy hot air station. It's very generic. Yeah, that's what it looked like underneath. Ew. Yeah, we're gonna clean that up. Oh, that's nice to know, Tech and Music. Cool. Glad you got yours working again. But yeah, this is what it looked like underneath that chip. So I am glad I removed it. Because that's going to need some cleaning. I'm going to go upstairs, get a glass of water. I will be right back in one moment, okay? Be right back. I am back. Yeah, grime-tastic. That's for sure. Alright, so let's use some of our alcohol here to scrub the heck out of this thing. That was exactly what I'm afraid of. I mean, honestly, this doesn't look too bad, but this over here looked like it was bridged. And, you know, if we're going to clean this thing, might as well clean it. And get all that crud off from there. Because, yeah, we have 2 serial ports we can use, but why have a broken one? Let's go the extra mile. Let's clean this up. I'm running out of this flux here. The cap juice is conductive. Yes, in most cases it is. In fact, in all cases, I believe it is. Yeah. So that's why it is important to clean these boards. And that's also why when you hear people going, "Oh, I put it in the dishwasher, it's fine." Yeah, that cap is going to probably keep leaking. And, not good. Alright, so let's... Ooh, this smells horrible. Just trying to get away most of that grime here. Probably need a bigger ball of solder on the end of that. Yeah, let's get all that crud out of there. We don't want you on our board. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I mean, I personally wouldn't use a dishwasher for most cases. I mean, yes, you can use it in some cases, and that's fine. I would take everything off of the board before cleaning it. Because, you know, there's just some stuff under there. What gets me is the people that go, "Oh, you don't need to recap it, you just need to wash it." I'm like, well, you're getting rid of... That's like having a leaky tire. You put some air in the tire's still leaking. It's not solving the problem there. It's making it a little less worse, but you still got a problem there. We're making some progress here. Ah, yes, wisdom from Gillamelia. Let's clean some of that up first, and we will continue. Ugh, yeah, all this crud was under this chip in one form or another. Just look at that. Ugh. It's disgusting. Yeah, the harshness of the water is also another issue. Again, if you can... Look, my ultrasonic cleaner wasn't cheap. I mean, it's cheap compared to the ones out there. Mine was about $160 or so. I had to fix the darn thing when I got it. The stupid thing was broken. But it works now. Obviously, only if you're going to be recapping a bunch of boards and cleaning them does it make sense to have one of those machines. But even just soaking it in alcohol or distilled water and cleaning it with a toothbrush helps. Ugh. So the ultrasonic cleaner was very poorly manufactured, obviously. It was a cheapo one. And the live wire was connected to the ground wire in a sense, because there was something that was screwed in and the ground was connected to the positive wire, so it didn't blow a fuse, but it was making some unhappy noises when I plugged it in. And it was only until I unplugged it and took a look inside I realized what was going on. Thankfully somebody had a video, the seller had a video of like, oh yeah, you just gotta fix this. And alright, so I'll tell you the whole story. I'm gonna do a video about this, so spoiler alert. What essentially happened is I ordered this ultrasonic cleaner. It arrived. It looked like it had fingerprints all over it, even though it was registered. It said it was new. So I said, "Hey, it didn't work." And the seller responded like the next morning. I said, "Oh yeah, open it up, see if some of the wires are bad." So I played dumb, and I'm like, "Look, man, this is new and it's not working. I'm not going to open it up and void the warranty." And sure enough, he sent me a YouTube video link, and the guy poorly explained what the problem was, which could potentially be a problem. And so I opened it up, and sure enough, one of the problems out of the two that the guy listed, mine had. The screws were touching something they shouldn't, so I had to bend a piece of metal out of the way. And then it worked just fine. But it was a freaking electro hazard as soon as I got the darn thing. So that was not cool. And so I'm like complained, and I got some money back from it, because I'm like, look, you sold me something that you said was new. It obviously wasn't new, or if it was new, it was broken. Yeah, I mean, these people assumed that I could just fix the thing. No, what if I had to bring it to somewhere and have them fix it for me? Let's assume that. So, I mean, get what you pay for, obviously. And yes, this gunk is horrible. Yeah, I mean, look, I knew exactly what I was getting into. I paid for cheapo electronics. And I don't have a problem with cheapo electronics. I understand the risk there, but if you're going to sell something as new and then, you know, be like, oh yeah, you got to open up and fix the things. No, sell it, you know, make that known in the description. If, you know, 9 times out of 10, someone has to open one of these things to fix it manually. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. We're still going to clean that up a little bit. And I'm just using some solder here. I should be using some flux too. I'll put some on in a second. Just to try and get the crap off of here. It's there now, Jay. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, Flux does a lot of the work for you. And yeah, I forget to put it on sometimes. I'm only human. Do this a million times in a row and I'll forget. Is that pad not even there? I don't think that's even a pad, is it? Oopsie. Did that come off? Uh-oh. That might not go anywhere, though. That simply might just be to hold the chip there. I'll have to look. Does anyone want to rewind the video and see if that... if that piece was there a minute ago? Oops. I mean, I don't see it leading anywhere. It could through the other side of the board, I guess, but... it was there. Uh-oh. Well, that's what happens when you try and clean this stuff. Sometimes it'll just come off. Oopsie. Well, I guess that's the risk you take when you take the chips off. It's a no connect pin. Yay! Thank you, Tekken Music. That's a relief. That is very good to know. Thank you very much, Tekken Music. So according to the schematics, that is a no connect pin. So it's okay that nothing is there. I probably applied too much heat to it, or it was just... I mean, that one was pretty nasty. Might have just corroded to the core and fell off. I got lucky that time. Oof, boy. Alright, let's zoom in here. Magnify! Yeah, so that's where it was. Yeah, this one's not looking that much better either. Trying to scrape most of the crud off of this one. Oh. Looks like solder got under the pad? I don't know. Be careful with that one. Yeah, that one almost looks like solder got under the pad and pushed the pad up because it's so flat, but... well, if we count, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a middle pin there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I think we're good. Well, if the serial port doesn't work, we know why, but... alright, so let's move the board aside for a second. And let's look at that chip. Here's the underside of that chip. Ew. Ew. See, like, look at, there's all this crap between the pins. All this stuff. We don't want any of that. This is the bottom of that chip. Ugh. I've seen Bruce do this a few times where you put some solder, not solder, put some flux on there. We could clean off the chip pretty well with the soldering iron. So let's see if I'm forgetting a step. Yay! Looks better already. These tweezers have been through a lot. Look at it bubble. Still looks like crap, but that one's a little loose. That's concerning. I should probably stop wiggling that as much. Yeah, there's gunk even on the underside of the... I don't know how I'm going to clean this. Put it in some alcohol, maybe. Any suggestions on how to clean a little chip like this? Excuse me. Because I'm just going to let it bathe in some alcohol for a bit. I'll scrub it with the toothbrush. That can't hurt, hopefully. Oh, that pin came off. Great. I wish I had a clamp. That would be a great... I do, but it's way too big. Way too big for something like this. Well, I hope this enhances your holiday. We just got well, there's thankfully there's still some to attach it to. But the rest of that leg went bye-bye. Now, how am I going to clamp this if I have to hold it with... oh, I'm going to need 3 hands here. Now, I do have one of these helping hand things. Let me see if I can get this to work. Move my multimeter out of the way. Let's see if I get... see if this will go where I want it to go. That'll kind of hold it. I mean, I think that's the best I could do under the circumstances right now. Okay, well, let's see if we can wick some of this garbage off. Huh? Copper, hot. Yeah, I was using a big ass solder block before, so let me get some more of that. It's a technical term, I know. Ah, jeez. These are so broken. So broken. Well, that's another thing to repair. No worries, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your vacation. Well, thankfully, I do have a Macintosh Classic board that is toast that does have a variety of chips on it that should be okay. And I think one of the cereal chips is the same one, so. Let me find that board real quick. And here it is. Nope, those cereal chips look a little different. We'll figure it out. Alright, so there is a spot to attach that leg to. Whoopsie. So that's... Wait. Jeez. Maybe? Oh, no. Alright, never mind. There will be okay. That should be alright. This chip is just disgusting. There's a little nub there. You might be able to do that. I mean, yeah, I could probably get it, the solder to it, but just look at this chip is just disgusting. I mean, this, ugh, look at all this. Ugh. This might need to go in the ultrasonic cleaner just itself. Yep, you're gonna go for a swim, buddy. 'Cause you are nasty. Alright, let's just soak that in some alcohol here before it goes in its cleaner friend trip, whatever the heck we're saying. Words. Alright, let's get back to this board here. Thank you, Sean, no worries. And see if I need to apply any other solder mask before we put this in the cleaner, because that's what we said we were going to do an hour and a half ago, and we didn't. So let's look at those areas we need to put some solder on. Have to fix up some of these traces. I was like, where's the chip? There's supposed to be a chip right next to that. Duh. Oh, boy. There goes the light off the microscope. Alright, so I know that those two traces at the bottom are bad, so we have to bridge those. And we got some solder in there already. Also got some solder on that pad, which I didn't want to do yet. Where'd my cutters go? They're there. Yes, but we're gonna try and revive it. We're gonna try and do that, Christopher. Try and get this thing in a better state. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. I can only do and try as best as I can. And I stand on the shoulders of giants, I think is the best way to say that. Alright, so I think I could run a little wire there. Now I have to find the appropriately sized wire, because the wire I have on my desk currently is a bit too thick. Yeah, it's a bit too thick. I have a smaller one. Let's find the smaller wire. Let's try and find the smaller wire. Okay, so that is 28 gauge wire, and this is 34. Yeah, you know what? That'll work. Okay, so this is insulated wire. So what we have to do is anchor it to one side and then anchor it to the other, and we could actually just do a solder bridge there, but I'd feel much better using a wire. Yeah, it does take a lot of patience, but I do have a lot of patience. Sometimes. Other times I'm like, never mind. So we have to put that wire there, and then another one there. Oopsie. You also need delicate hands. Yeah, so let's start by just putting a little bit of flux in that area. And yes, that's a little. Alright, let's see if we can do this properly. These tweezers are not going to help me, are they? Nope. Lousy tweezers. Where's my other pair? I have a good pair. Where the heck did they go? Probably about the time I found them. I have bins of tools everywhere. And never the ones I need to find. Just try and bend this back temporarily. Alright, that should help a little bit. This SE30 is from 89 is the copyright date, so probably 89.90. The best website to look up old Mac facts is everymac.com or lowendmac.com. They each have pretty good directory listings of when machines came out, etc., etc. That got all dirty. Ew. Let's clean that up. You're asking me? I was a baby. Well, we got some of the coating off that wire, which was not my intention, but be all right. It'll be all right. That's a little thicker than I wanted. But I guess it'll work. That's a little bit better. I'm just trying to get the left side of this soldered down. Yes, I have a better pair of tweezers, Jay. If you want to come here and help me find them, you're more than welcome to do so. No! And that's what happens when you don't use enough flux. I think that's okay. I don't think that's going to go anywhere, hopefully. Now, when I do put that chip back on, that trace may decide to get too hot and just fly away. Probably not unheard of, but what's going on with this one? Yeah, that was the foot of the other one, or maybe it was the pad of the other one. All right. It's not the prettiest, but hopefully it'll be functional. Yes, that's a very good idea, Jay. Yay! Yeah, so actually I'll probably put the one here too and solder mask that too. Just so all of that is out of the way. What do you guys think? Actually, probably be fancy and go to the veer there. All right, let's try that. don't want it to be that big of a blob, but... If we could get to stay like that, that'd be nice. That'd be very nice. Alright, that's pretty good. I do want to kind of get it in the middle there, but maybe I don't have to. Okay. Why, thank you. Yes, this scope definitely makes things much easier. Let's do our multimeter test here to make sure that it is actually connecting where we want it to connect. Yay! Well, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does work. So let me just try and clean that up just a little bit, because there's some gunk around there from the wire melting and stuff like that. I will put solder mask on it so it connects to the board better. It connects here. And it connects here. It doesn't really connect in the middle there. I'm a little worried on doing that because I don't want it to like touch here, but maybe I'll have to. What do you think? Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to undo what I just did and make it worse. You know. I just noticed this spot here. Yuck. The mask will hold it into place. Well, good. I hope so. That'll make it easier. So I think it's time to put some solder mask on some places and put it out in the sun. I just have a little scalpel. It has a plastic handle, but it's just a very, just a normal scalpel there. I think I'm going to touch up that joint just a little bit because there's a hole in there. I just don't like the way it looks. Watch, this will undo exactly what I don't want it to undo. Need more solder. How about that? Too much solder. Ugh. Shouldn't have touched it. Should not have touched it. Should not have touched it. But no, you want to make it look fine, Stephen. You didn't want to make it look like crap. Nah. Alright, now don't you move. It should. I will test it, Jay. Let's see. Very good question. Because we want to make sure this is actually going to fix it. It just doesn't look like it fixes it, you know? Alright, so let's use our multimeter here. First simple test here to here. That works. All right, let's look on the other side of the board here, which you can't see me looking at, but well, there's a bodge wire on the bottom. That's always a good sign. Yep, it does connect to the bottom of the board. Hooray! Alright, that's good news. Alright, so we're going to make that permanent exhibit here and put some solder mask on top of that. So we want to cover both of these wires here. And we might as well do the rest of these too, because, well, let's confirm the continuity of those first. Make sure there's no problems with those. I don't think there is, because we did test those before. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna need quite a bit in this area, actually. Second. Well, I did scrub the heck out of this in alcohol, so hopefully it's clean enough. If not, I guess we'll soon find out. Huh. Alright, so I think that section is okay. Oh, there's gonna be more. There's always more. Yeah, I just want to get some of these areas that we will have to put some solder on anyway. If I'm gonna put it out to dry, might as well make sure it's covered in this mask stuff. It's almost like painting. Well, I'm glad I could be the visual soundtrack to a different audio soundtrack. I think this is a trace here. I think that's shiny. I guess that's okay. I don't know if I should cover this here, because that's a long one. I guess it wouldn't hurt to cover it, to protect it. As long as it's thin, it's not going to push up against the chip or anything. Yeah, do not want to bridge anything. This is true. I could always scrape it away. I think that's okay. Now back where I was supposed to be doing. Those areas I scraped away before. Anything else? I think that's okay. That might be a cut there. Let's take a look. This stupid light just keeps crashing down. Ugh. That's a little concerning. There we go. Just wanted to get that crud off of there. Good. Alright, so let's just do a little clean on that, and then we'll put some solder mask on that. We'll hopefully get that all fixed. I'm going to put some solder mask back over there. I think we wiped that away by mistake. Get our wick here. Get the solder we don't need off of that board. Alright, one last clean, and then it's solder mask time, and I think we got all of it. We'll do a check, and then we'll bring it outside to clean. Not to clean, to dry. To cure. Okay. Where'd that toothpick go? Darn it, there it is. That's a bit too much. Making sure I get all the spots I can. So I don't have to do this again. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty good. I don't think I scraped any other areas really yet. So I think that'll be fine for now. Zoom out here. Oh, we are zoomed out. Okay. Yeah, I think that was the area where we scraped the most. There's a little bit over here. Okay. I think we're in good shape. So I'm going to go and put this in the sun. And I will be back in a few minutes. So I will be right back. Sorry. I pushed the button to mute myself. All I was saying was put the UV solder mask in the sun. I think it takes about 5-10 minutes to cure. So just waiting on that. While we wait, Brandon sent me this Color Classic board to recap. Probably not going to recap it now, but might as well go along the board and just take a look at it. So. Well, of course that chip is bad. Not bad, but yuck. Needs some, it's gonna need some cleaning. Yeah, this has a lot of flux on it, this board, so I might just clean this when I clean the other board. Because this is all just a lot of flux. Yeah, and yeah, I might just clean this in the ultrasonic cleaner. Let me get some of the solder off these old pads and stuff like that. At least we could do that while we wait for the solder mask to cure. So switching gears here just to clean some of these pads off. Nice and shiny. That's what we like to see. Because of course before we want to put any capacitors on here, we want to clean these off. We'd like to have nice clean pads, nice and shiny. Okay, we have some over here. So again, I just switched to this Color Classic board that I'm helping out my friend Jordan here, just trying to make sure we can clean out these pads so we could eventually put some caps on them. Probably not today, but I'm just very, very gently touching this. I'm not scrubbing. It looks like I am, but I am not. Just sort of hovering over here. Look how nice and shiny those look. Oh, yeah, you know what? That was a problem with one of my color classics. All of a sudden it just didn't want to work anymore after I recapped it. I don't know what I did. If there was like a loose part somewhere, but good luck trying to figure that out. I'm a little worried about this here. Okay. Alright, there's still a connection there. It just looked a little suspect. Alright, those are cleaned up. Let's go to the one over here to clean. I have a 230. I don't think I... Do I have a 210? I might have had a 210 a while ago. I might not have, though. I have a 270C, and I have a few 230s. Maybe I have a 210. I have to check the list. Oh, maybe I did. I don't have my memory ain't so good sometimes. So yeah, if I didn't sell anything recently or get rid of anything. So if you saw it on a stream, still got it. All right, then just 2 more pads over here. Copper hot. Alright, so those pads look pretty good. Like I said, there was a lot of flux on this board from probably when the caps were taken off. Not that it's harming anything, but we're going to need a good cleaning of this. Because, yeah. Alright. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 caps. Oh, wait. I knew there was a little one. There it is. There it is. Let's do the baby one there. I knew there was one I was missing. It's like, it can't be just those. Alright. Alright, well, Brandon, your board has those caps removed now, so it's ready for a bath to clean some of this cap juice off, and a little worried about this chip here. Let's Let's first let me focus this so you guys can see it a little bit better. I wonder if most of that will just come off. Alright, well, I'll loosen some of it up so the ultrasonic cleaner can take care of it. Where do I source my parts? Well, I've been collecting computers, particularly Macintosh computers, most of my life. So I have a personal collection of Macs. I don't really use them as parts unless they're already broken. But that is generally where, you know, if I need a part, I usually have it. Unless it's a more obscure thing, or if it's a part I simply don't have, or a machine I don't have more than one of. But I got most of my collection, or started getting most of my collection 20, 15 years ago, something like that. Long before that. I mean, jeez, I was a teenager still. And whatever money I had, I'd go to yard sales with my dad, or flea markets and stuff. And in high school, there were computer ones I went to. Oh, so you mean like capacitors? See, I was just going on a tangent. I go to Mouser.com to get capacitors. In fact, I have to order some. I'll show you why in a second. The shipping is pretty good. Pretty fast. I mean, yeah, you pay a little bit for it, but you pay for everything these days. But yeah, I've used Mouser. DigiKey is another one. Nothing against any of the other ones. I've just used Mouser. I haven't had need to use anything else. I found that Mouser has better pictures than most of their things, whereas DigiKey sometimes does not. But I guess it depends on what you're looking for. It's a lot of crud right here. Jeez. Sticky flux. Get that off the board. Alright, so let me just check my phone here real quick. I realize that little streaming subscribe logo thing is right in the corner of my face. So that's probably poor placement on my part. Alright, so the UV solder mask says in direct sunlight takes about 30 minutes. It's been out there for at least 16, 17 minutes now, so not too much longer. I have a lot of chores to do too, but here I am. Alright, so we're going to put aside the Color Classic board. I'm going to take two caps off of something. I don't have the replacement caps yet, but this was also something that Brandon sent me to look at. And this is an Apple IIe card. And there are two capacitors on here that we have to remove. One there, and one here. Now they don't look, I mean, they look a little suspect. Maybe they need to be, you know, they obviously need to be removed at some point in their lives. It looks a little suspect. So we'll remove it. Now, I don't have the replacements for these yet. I just ordered them. They'll be here in a few days. I have to do my own 2C card also. A 2E card, rather. So, yeah. But, we could at least take the capacitors off. So, what I like to do sometimes, and I'm going to do it in this area because I don't see a lot of solder on those legs there. I like to just add some solder. Add some new solder to where the old solder was. You can see the plastic that's holding that cap is moving around a bit. Yeah, it's not really sticking because there's probably a bunch of crap under there, but should make it a little easier for us, hopefully, to get that capacitor off, because it's right next to some plastic there. I don't really want to apply heat for too much, much longer than I have to. Alright, that I think helped a little bit. But I can smell that capacitor. That is definitely either leaking or about to. I think it has leaked a little bit, but you just get that smell of these sometimes. So this one I'm not going to use a scope for. I can see this with my eyes. Oh, that stinks. That reeks. Boy. Boy, boy, boy. Alright, so I'm just putting more flux in those areas here. I'm going to not use the microscope for this, because I don't need to. Use the extra light here. It'll be helpful. Sorry you can't see this. I have a camera up there, but I don't think that's going to help you. You're just going to see my bald spot. Yeah, let me get some things here to shield the heat from this plastic, because we don't want to damage any of that. So you could use plastic bits from razor blades or PCI port covers just to do that. I'm sure if you've seen Brankus Creations stream, he's done the same exact thing. That should usually help it. So hopefully that does the trick. And we're just going to heat that up and get this out of there real quick. So apologies, you're not going to see too much of this. Just going to do this real quick. Alright, that capacitor has been removed. We'll move on to the next one. Put this down for a second. No plastic was harmed. Very happy about that, because this is not my board. I'm fixing this, and I always want to not cause any damage to anything I am fixing. Yeah, so this is an Apple IIe card. No worries, Christopher. Thank you. This is an Apple IIe card, yes. So we're just removing the caps. I don't have the replacement ones right now, but we're just going to remove these so they don't cause any damage. Okay. Both of the caps have been removed. All the plastic is intact. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. I am buffering. Well, YouTube says I have an excellent connection. My upload is 5200 kilobits per second. I have 0 dropped frames, so if I was buffering, might be YouTube, might be your connection. I just want to refresh it. It could be my connection. My connection is garbage. I'm getting a new internet service provider on September 1st. That was the earliest available appointment, so we'll all have to be patient, including me. Yeah, I got an untested Apple IIe card for about $60 or $70 a few years ago. Thankfully, it worked. I do not have the cable for it. I have to make my own. I ordered the parts to do that, but I have not done that yet. So that'll be something I have to do soon. I could recap this card, and I could put it in the machine to make sure it recognizes it as an Apple IIe card. But I can't, test the full functionality of it. But this card looks in really good shape. So I'm just cleaning this up here. I know you can't see this. I'm not using the microscope right now. Excuse me. Will you do a Mac Plus? I do have some Mac Pluses that do need some repair. So at one point in time I will. Probably the analog board needs attention on those. Okay, yeah, thankfully you don't need the cable to use it, only if you want to use the disk drives and the joystick and all that stuff. But I can perform a test, again this light, I can perform a test to make sure it actually functions. Yes, I do have both DOS cards. I have a DOS 46 card, then I have a Pentium 166 card, and both the cables for that, thankfully. So that is something I'm very happy to have. Alright, so we're just going to clean up these pads here. There's not too much on there, but nice and shiny. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I think the card I have is from a Quadra 600 or 6100, one of those. It's the DOS card for that. But it has the optional Sound Blaster chip on it. The little, not chip, but it's like a little daughter board. Now this pad on this side might just be the flux here, but let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. So this looked okay, but yeah, if that was left there, that would have corroded that right there. So Brandon, if you ever take a look at this stream, there you go. Thankfully, we didn't have to repair anything. Okay, so we've been going for almost 3 hours here. I want to continue, but I do have some other things to do today. I know you guys probably have other things to do too. How about we'll take a look at that SE after it dries. And then I think we're going to have to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner, which means 30 minutes I'm not going to really be doing anything. So I might as well take a break, or at least end the stream for today, and we'll pick up another day. But we go. Oh, I can't multitask. No. All right. Well, that Apple II card is looking pretty good. Apple IIe card. Let's switch the camera and I'll show you. So there's the Apple IIe card. Looking nice and clean. We took those two caps off. I do have to order replacements for those. No caps on the back are missing. That's good. Assembled in Australia. So this came from Bruce's home country. And there is some, like, I guess it's just flux residue, you know, on that side. But it looks very clean. So that's good. So back in the static bag this goes. Which I have to order static bags myself. I'm running low. It even has a plastic standoff on it. Yeah, I don't think mine does. In fact, where is mine? That's a good question. My goodness, where the heck is mine? Huh. Oh. I don't know. Because I was going to take the cap off of mine. I will show you what I did take the cap off of. If I can find it. Here it is. I have a NuBus card adapter for the Macintosh 2SI. It's this metal thing here, but this is the actual card. What's nice is it lets you use a NuBus card, but it also has the coprocessor on it as well. So you get the benefit of, you know, using that slot, but it's not being taken up by a coprocessor only. So you do have that NuBus slot here. This plugs into the 2SI, and this is the coprocessor. There was one capacitor there, so I have replaced that. I have replaced that capacitor on mine already. That goes in the 2SI like this, and then let's see if I have here. There we go. Here's the network card that was plugged in. Does this have any capacitors on it? Any bad ones? No. So this card essentially works like this. And this is just a network NuBus card here. If we could align the metal clips here correctly. Nope, hold on. The metal clip parts are always what get me about this card. Yeah, let me take that out. Try that again. There we go. Yeah, because there's a metal clip up here and one down there to make sure these cards socket into place here and here. I do not have a Lisa. I was kind of almost going to get one, but I think the guy was scamming me, and then Facebook wouldn't let me message the guy anymore because of suspicious activity, so I dodged a bullet there. I honestly don't know what I'd do with the Lisa. I mean, I have an Apple III. I hardly touch it. I like it. I hardly touch the thing. But yeah, so this is an Apple Ethernet card, and this has a Motorola 6800 on it, not a 68030. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, MacBoy. This is right there. If the camera would like to focus there, that is. Put my fingers there. There we go. That is the Motorola chip you speak of. So yeah, it's Motorola 6800 FN10. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So yeah, this will just plug right into my 2SI then. Yep. I do have another Ethernet card. I think this one came out of one of the 2CIs I have. But entire Mac Classic CPU. Yep. I do have a 2SI. I only have one, but it works. I recapped it, so that's good. Let's check on the timer here. All right, it's been in the sun for 30 minutes, so let's go and grab that 2SI. Now you have me saying 2SI. That SE30 out of the sun, and we'll bring it right down here. So I will be right back in a moment, and then we'll check that out. Okay, we are back. Hey, I don't know anybody crazy enough to do this stuff near me either, so that's what the internet is for. Yay! Just catching up on the chat here. Oldest Mac I have is the first one, the 128K. Okay, so the solder mask has cured. Let's take a look. And there we go. Look at that. So that seems to have cured exactly where we wanted it to go. And where we wanted to cure, rather. Some of that's a bit puffier than I would have liked, but that capacitor will just sit a little lopsided. I really don't care. Well, that's a good question. Oldest piece of electronic equipment. Oh, I forgot to put some there. Oopsie. Oopsie! You know, I'll put some there real quick and just put it back outside. Oldest piece of electronic equipment? That's a good question. Probably like a remote control from an old TV. Something like that. I have an Apple IIe, which is pretty old. And I have some 8-bit Atari stuff, which is pretty old too. So, yeah, I guess those are good candidates for that, but good question. Alright, so we're just going to put a little more UV solder mask, of course, that I didn't notice where it needed it before. That's on that area there. And I just saw another one. And I lost it again. Where'd it go? I think that was it, right? Maybe. Yeah, I have some 8mm projectors. That's pretty old. I don't think I have anything with tubes in it. I think my father must have, but okay. I think that's the only spot. Was there anything else? I thought I just saw something else too. I'm driving myself crazy. I think that's okay. Oh, there, right, that's it, right there. I'd say I don't want to do this a third time. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I have a reel-to-reel tape deck. That's pretty old, but it is a stereo one, so it's not that old. Alright, cool. I'm going to run upstairs and put this back in the sunlight. Let's see if there's any other areas I forgot. I think we're okay. A little higher. What do you mean? What'd I do? Oh. Above the pads, between the pads of the bigger connector, bigger capacitor, the oldest, the bigger capacitor. Oh yeah, thank you. See, I'm looking so close to this stupid thing. Thank you, friends. Excellent. Okay, let's see any other areas with these. Yep, here we go. Here's some. I don't know how I missed some of the stuff before. Cause you're a doo-doo head. No. Oh wow, that's good to know, Jake. Nice job. It's nice when most of them work, isn't it? Get this hair out of the board. Get away. Okay, let's check the rest of these pads. I don't think there was anything else. No. Over here. Yeah, a little bit over there. Just a little bit. Right there. Of course, I have solder mask all over my fingers now. I really don't care what color the mask is as long as it works, but that's just me. Alright, what about this one over there? Oh yeah, that needs some of it. Okay. I think we're good, hopefully. I mean, that thing right there looks horrible. It will come off my hands. I just gotta, peel the layer of skin off. That's all. Ah. Looks like we need to do some scraping in this area. Ooh, your laser arrived. Very fancy there, Jay. I'm gonna have to get a UV laser eventually. For times when it's dark out or it's cloudy, and I don't necessarily have the ability to cure it on my own with the natural resources. This whole area. Ugh. Ah! I thought I was done. That's right. That's the curse of this board. Will never be done. Like the cleaning of a house, it never ends. Most of this actually looks okay. So just gonna lightly doing that. All right, thanks, Jay. See you later. Just gonna lightly coat some of this with solder to get some of that. Oh, sorry. There we go. Alright, gonna need a little more flux there, I think. For some of those areas where it just was not sticking. Those might just need some flux, solder mask on it. Oh, look at this. Ew. We don't want any of that. No, thank you. Just a wee bit, little bit in that area. Alright, getting progress here. There's still so much dirt and crud on this board though. Ah. Yeah, these four caps here were in pretty nasty shape. Not the caps, I mean, but the pads. They're pretty gross the other day, so. Pretty good if I could clean that up. Thinking Things. I don't think I played that one. If I do, I don't remember it. Alright. Drying off a lot of this stuff. I just keep seeing little areas that are bothering me. Scrapey, scrapey. Oh boy, yeah, there's a whole bunch of crud on this board. This is right near the power connector. And so I just want to make sure that if we already put this in the sun for some UV solder mask fun. And we noticed some other areas that needed some attention. Yuck. Losing my mind here. I was like, where'd my Q-tip go? Where'd my alcohol go? Yeah, that's pretty nasty. I wonder if that's actually making a connection. Our multimeter will tell us. Nope. No connection. That's a bad one. That sounds like fun. I don't think I've ever heard about that. We're gonna need some trace repair. Oh, Microsoft Flight Sim. Okay, I've heard that one. Heard the new one's fun. I'm not really a flight sim person. I'm the type that, you know, as soon as I memorize to get the controls of the aircraft up in the air, I crash it by mistake. I'm more of a Grand Theft Auto flight sim person. Oh, we are really close in there, aren't we? This is gonna be fun. Where's my little wire? The thin wire. Well, we did one earlier. We did two earlier, and I will point out we even put solder mask over them to protect them, which I can't find right now. There we are. Yeah, we did two trace repairs there, and I put UV solder mask over it to protect it. But yeah, we gotta do another one right here. So hold on to your seats, boys and girls. It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, there's a lot of eBay scams out there. I hate it's not a scam, but some people will not allow combined shipping, and then like you buy multiple items from them and you go to contact them, and if you select the question that eBay asks you, oh, is this about combined shipping, and you say yes, they'll be like, oh, sorry, the seller says they don't accept combined shipping. And that's when I email them and go, what the heck, dude? I'm buying like 5 things from you. You won't combine the shipping? And they always respond, okay, yeah, we'll do it. But it's like, why do you disable it, man? That's pretty crummy. You're sending something to me. Might as well be efficient. Alright, so I coated those traces in solder. But obviously there's one up there that is still broken, so we will bridge that. The reason I'm coating the rest of the traces in solder is just to remove the risk of oxidization later on, and we'll cover that with UV solder mask and all that fun stuff. See, all that gook and yucky brown stuff that came out? Disgusting. Trina! She's late to her own party. 3 hours and 20 minutes late. I thanked you earlier because I wasn't originally going to stream today, but we were messaging on Discord about something different, and you said, oh, by the way, are you streaming today? I said, no. And I changed my mind about 10 minutes after. So we're just repairing a trace here on the Macintosh SE30. Let's make sure that that little area to the left does not also need a bit of repair. Hopefully not. Yeah, that's good. But again, there's a break there. Oh, that's okay. Don't feel bad. I'm not making you feel bad. I'm just teasing. I'm thanking you. So, thank you. All right. So, let's get this trace there, huh? Yeah. All right. So, what I can do is anchor the trace to the right of that veer over there. To do that, just gonna scrape away a little bit here. But to sum up what we've done in the past 3 hours, we were cleaning the traces on this board for a long time, and then I put this in the sun for a half hour while I worked on something else, and now we're gonna fix this trace and put this back in the sun for a while. So, all right, so let's get some flux here and there. There we go. Now, we have to use this very tiny cable. And my tweezers are not really the best, but you know what? We're gonna try to make the best out of them. make sure you guys can see what I'm gonna do here. Right. So this is a enameled wire here, which has coating around it. So I'm going to burn off the coating with the iron. And there we go. And look at that. That wire is nicely snug there. And then we're going to melt it. Well, put solder on it rather. And get that wire to stick where it needs to also. So I do have my little fan on. It is very tiny and it's hard to see, but it is on. It's probably not blowing directly in the right direction. But thank you for the reminder. I turned it on the higher setting. That's what I was going to use. More flux. That's what we need. A little bit. But thank you for the reminder. That's the problem with these wires. They are so tiny and the heat is very intense that it's very easy. Very easy. So you just get the whole thing detached. So we might have to do a few attempts here. That's not too bad. Let's clean that up though, because that doesn't look too good. This will look much better when it's all done, I assure you. I don't think that's going anywhere. Yes, you did. I saw that. Yeah, I was mentioning his video earlier when he was in the chat before. But yeah, that was a great video he did. Follow up to his SE30 that he got. I hope you guys were able to see that. I moved this around a bit. There we go. Okay. Let's clean that up a little bit. Looks like we just need a little bit touching up there. There we go. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. So that is a trace repair there. We have it anchored into the veer, and it's making connection on the other side, so that should be enough what we need. I would like to put a little dab of solder right there just so it's a little more flush with that, and by doing that I do risk messing it up, but I want to make sure I don't have to really do this again. So there we go. Perfect. Perfecto. Yeah, there are some little spots here that I'm a little worried about as far as having some crap on them, but yeah, that's just some gunk here. All right, so this is going to get some solder mask here to protect it. This area, this little area here. I think we'll be okay. This area needs it too. We'll move on. So let's zoom out here. Uh-oh, what happened there? I thought we had some solder on here. Did that come off? Oh boy. It never ends. I don't like when the wick is that long, because then it can heat up and attach to something and rip it off. So I like to keep that trim. Okay. I think, hopefully, to keep cleaning this thing too. Because that solder mask will probably not stay on there as well as we'd like if the board is dirty. And we don't want that. Ideally, I don't want to have to touch these traces ever again. So, that is why I'm going through all this. Of course, finding more areas. Ugh. Okay. Let's just do this one more time, and then it's solder mask time, hopefully. I think I'm going to take a break. Maybe stop the stream because I've been doing this for 4 hours. I didn't intend to go this long, but... I need more flux, because that's what happens when you solder without flux. It just goes, ugh, everywhere. You don't want that, folks. Don't want that. All right. Already? My neck is starting to hurt by looking into this microscope. Well, let's see what we can do here. So, is that a new spot? Jeez. Alright, good. That's nothing to worry about. Alright, let's just continue cleaning that spot. We'll put the solder mask on. We'll go from there. You guys can multitask while you watch a stream, and that's usually what I do. I can't really do that. Not when I'm the host. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I guess it could, but... Well, look at that. I got solder on those pins there. It's probably not a good thing. That should come on. Oh boy, this wick does not like to cooperate. It just goes exactly where I don't want it to go. All right. All right. All right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think these traces might have been okay, but seeing some of the nastiness that was near these caps, I didn't want it to, you know, think, oh great, I fixed this machine, and then all of a sudden it stops working, and I go, oh no, is it one of those traces? And have to take off the caps and do all this. So I'd rather get this done. And it take a few more hours. Especially because it is my machine. I want to do it right. Alright. Exactly. Better safe than sorry. It's probably too much, but no. Oh well. We'll do this like a paintbrush. So now we're just putting the solder mask on here to protect those traces that we redid. Make sure nothing else touches them by mistake when we're putting those caps on, etc. Okay. I think that's all the areas. This is a bit more than I want, but I could clean that up. Anything else that you eagle-eyed viewers spot that I don't, that I missed? Yeah, this dirt, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Just taking off some of, we don't need so much here. But good eye, good eye. See if I could just use a little bit of the Q-tip here. Let me flatten it with the pliers here. There, we don't need as much of that there. That's fine. So I think that looks okay. Kind of don't like it touching that metal there, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all of that away. Because it doesn't have to be under there. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay, I am pretty happy with that. I don't have a small enough paintbrush. I just don't. I do, but they're full of paint, and I will continue using them for paint. But actually, I find a toothpick actually gives me a little bit more control, because this is a very, very tiny area. It's very hard to get precise control. With the toothpick, I can sort of push it around. But that's just what I'm doing for right now. I might have to use a paintbrush later on. Alright, so I think this is ready to go sit outside in the sun. Just make sure we're not missing anything else before we do that. We put some fresh solder mask on in a few other areas there. Okay. We had to cover that up. We covered that up. Covered there. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna go put this upstairs in the sun, and I will be right back. We're back. Let's switch to the other view here. There's nothing to look at under the microscope. So we've been going almost for 4 hours here. So I think what I'm going to do is stop here. I'm getting a little tired. My neck is hurting. That thing is going to be in the sun for the next 30 minutes there. So, yeah, that's going to have to sit there for 30 minutes. After that, I'm going to clean it in the ultrasonic cleaner. So there's not too much you could watch for that. And probably going to rest for the rest of the day. It is Saturday. I have to rest a little bit. But any questions, anything you guys have? A few minutes left before I skedaddle here. Hope you enjoyed the trace repair and the cleaning and the endless cleaning of those traces on this board. Boo, boy. I was not expecting that. I mean, I knew there was some work cut out for me, but jeez. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. About 9 hours in on this board so far. So it's a bit of a challenge. It is. But okay, yeah, you can go back and watch what you missed. There's more of the same, but you're welcome to do that if you'd like. What I have next for another stream is a Macintosh 2 logic board, which I can hold up here if it's easily available. Where did I put that? Oh, it's in the wrap over there. I can't hold that up. But there is that Color Classic board we looked at before, so we cleaned the pads off of those. So this will have to go into the ultrasonic cleaner because there's so much yucky flux on there. And then there's that Apple IIe board, and then there's a few other boards I have to look at. I do not have a Radius computer. I would love one. If anyone wants to donate one or offer one up for sale, I'd be happy to entertain you on that. But no, I don't have a Radius. I have a UMax, and I have a Power Computing. And that's it. It's the only clones I got. Apple IIe. Yep, an Apple IIe card. Yeah, that's it's in the little anti-static bag, but we took the little capacitors off of that. I have to get the new ones in the mail for that because I didn't have any. But yeah, so that's about it, I guess. I'm excited to get this SE30 working again. I think we'll be successful because even without the caps, it seemed to turn on okay. I do have. Oh, I can't lose that little chip. Yeah, I do have that little chip that will have to the serial port chip that will have to take its own journey into the ultrasonic cleaner because little legs are falling off and everything. That's going to be a challenging thing. But it is just a serial port chip, so even if I just have one serial port working on that machine, that won't be the biggest deal. But I'd like to try and fix it. We'll see what we can do for that. But yeah, that's gonna be annoying. But I am glad I took that off because there was a lot of gunk under there, and it could have just rotted away one of those traces underneath there, and you never would have known unless something stopped working on the machine. But all right, I guess that's about it. Any other questions? Anything final? I'll give you a few seconds to respond. If not, I'm going to sign off for the day. Hope you had fun watching, and I had a lot of fun. I did a lot of work, but I guess that's what's required with these things these days. So, all right. Goodbye, everybody. I'll catch you probably sometime later this weekend. Maybe next week, maybe. Did a lot of streaming in a row. I might have a little break here. But yes, you too, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend if you're having the weekend. And take care and stay safe, everybody. So see you guys later. Bye. Where's the end stream button? There it is.